We're here in Mount Maunganui with Simon Bridges. Simon's National Party candidate for Tauranga, and you live on the Mount.
I do. Look, I'm very proud to live at the Mount. It's one of the best spots in New Zealand, and a lot, although not so much with the campaigning at the moment. I try and get out for a run around down on the beach and around the Mount.
Well, we'll talk over the beach. We're not going to talk Winston too much, but we heard tonight on the news that Winston was keen to make Owen Glenn the consul to Monaco. Now, you might not be aware that Glenn said he wanted to be consul to Monaco because he wanted to organise beach volleyball parties for New Zealanders. Now, do you think this has some merit, though, beach volleyball parties for Kiwis overseas?
Look, it certainly does, and I can see how it would be a good policy plank. I mean, it's as good as some of New Zealand First policy planks that they've been coming out with recently. It's got about as much sense.
Okay, well, turning to more local issues, what are people in Tauranga saying is the major issue for them this election?
Look, the economy obviously is huge, and look, that was before we even got to the credit crunch and the economic turmoil around the world. The other big one is, and I know I would say this, but law and order, and I sense a real hardening of attitudes as we get close to the election on law and order issues.
Okay, now turning to yourself, Simon, this is your first time standing for Parliament, but what's the first election you've been involved with before, school, university, Young Nationals?
First election I was involved with. Look, probably actually it was 1993, and a guy, Tracy Adams, in the Te seat, who I think from memory lost to Chris Carter, who was my English teacher for a time. That was the first political election. I can't think of any elections I stood for before that time.
What was Chris like as a teacher?
Actually very good. Yeah, good. I always remember we did debates, and he sort of coached our debating team, and he came in with Diet Coke and bananas, which we thought was pretty good. No, very good teacher, not so good as Minister of Environment and so on.
Yeah, look, 3 days before our election, United States goes to the polls. Now, we don't go vote in that one, but if you could vote, do you think you'd vote McCain or Obama?
Yeah, that's a good question. Look, I've talked with my wife, and we've had this debate, and I'm a swinging voter, actually. She's definitely in the Obama camp, and I have to say, probably, I've switched from McCain to Obama. And, I've genuinely been impressed by him, and I think he'll make a very good president of the United States of America.
So if you're Prime Minister one day, you'll be consulting with your wife on matters of state, foreign policy?
That's called pillow talk, isn't it? Yeah. Very important, very important. Yeah.
Okay, now, with our election, you're going to be voting National, of course, you're on the National Party list. If you could rank, though, the parties in order from favourite to least favourite, which party of all those registered for the election would you be least likely to ever vote for?
That's a good question. Look, I think probably, wasn't too impressed with Jim Anton's performance yesterday. Actually, didn't like what he was saying, and I'd have to say progressives wouldn't be high up on my list for party votes.
Now, of course, Jim wants to put the drinking age back to 20. This could not be popular at Mount Maunganui, could it?
Funnily enough, that's interesting. I have been doing a bit of a poll on that, and I get a wide divergence in views. But I was talking tonight with one of the most prominent restaurateurs in Tauranga. He was all for it, so the jury's out.
Yeah, and look, final question, heading towards the future, Cunliffe or Gough?
Actually, and I don't know if I should be saying this on camera, but Cunliffe's older brother goes to a church that I've gone to a bit, and not a bad guy, so I'll go Cunliffe.
There's one vote for Cunliffe. Good luck, Simon. We'll all be watching Tauranga on election night.
Cheers. Good to talk with you.